Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight for a premiere video. This is actually going to premiere in the morning time on uh, September 27th on Tuesday, which this is for the Tuesday album review, but I'm premiering it at like 3:30 or 4 a.m. So you're going to see it around then up on my channel. So yeah, I'm recording this on Sunday at 10:30 or past 10:30. So, yeah, this is for the Tuesday album review for season 4, episode 17. I was making sure that it was season 4, episode 17 for Justin Timberlake's The 2020 Experience album that I'm going to be reviewing for the first part of it because there are two parts to his third album. So, I don't understand why it's known as his third album for both parts. They technically are different songs, but I guess they combobulated it or combined it together to make a third album for the whole experience. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for all 12 tracks on the 2020 Experience Part 1 album and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this album review. Now, sorry for the lengthy intro, just had to go into explanation with what's part of this album it is and all that. So let's dive right into the tracks. The first track is Push Your Love Girl, and pretty much I really like it. The beat is pretty good, and the natural flow to it with how the melody's sounds pretty good. And Justin Timberlake sounds pretty good singing in the track. So really enjoying this track, so 5 out of 5. It was a pretty lengthy song. It had one version of the track, then I went into another version of the song where he was rapping a bit and all that, so it did pretty well, so 5 out of 5. Suit and Tie featuring Jay-Z was a pretty interesting song. They both did pretty well in this track, both Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z as well. I personally think this is a pretty good song in my personal opinion. But hey, it may not be everyone's cup of tea because I know with Jay-Z's recent stuff, he hasn't made a really good album in a while. He did a collab album with his wife Beyonce, which that was in 2018. Never listened to it, but yeah, I just don't know if I want to listen to it. And sorry about my tiredness. I'm gonna be going to bed in a little bit, but yeah, I just want to get some reviews out for you guys tonight. So yeah, um, 5 out of 5 for Suit and Tie. I like Jay-Z's rap verse and Justin Timberlake singing in it sounds pretty good, and the production in it is pretty well done. Don't Hold the Wall is a pretty good song. The production in it is really good, and so is the mixing with the track. So I think JT and whoever else helped him out with this track with his studio. In the studio, did pretty well with this track. So I really like this song. 5 out of 5. Strawberry Bubblegum was a really good one. Lyrically, it's an acquired taste, I guess, but it just depends on the listener, I guess. So it did pretty well overall with the experimentation of the track. So 5 out of 5 for Strawberry Bubblegum. Tunnel Vision is a solid track. It's not my favorite one, but it's good in its own way. I just don't like the part where that girl voice is saying, I know you lie thing and all that, and it gets repetitive, annoying so much. That part of the track. But other than that, JT, also known as Justin Timberlake, did pretty good with this track. So 5 out of 5, or 4.5 out of 5. Sorry if I said 5 out of 5. Um, it's a 4.5 out of 5 I'm giving this track. I just accidentally said 5 out of 5. So, Spaceship Coupe is a pretty solid track. It's good in its own way. Just has weird vocal pitches from Justin Timberlake in this one, but I think for the execution, it did good in its own way. So 4.5 out of 5. That Girl was a pretty interesting track. Not my favorite one, but interesting. So it had some good jazziness to the track, a kind of jazz feel, and all that. That's what he wanted to use: trumpets, saxophones, all that stuff with the instrumentation, with the like a choir band or whatever coming in with their uh instrumentation or whatever. So basically, 4.5 out of 5 for That Girl. Lyrically, I don't know if I like it too much, but it is what it is. Let the Groove Get In was pretty catchy, for sure. It is repetitive with like a kind of right there, right there, let the groove get in, or whatever it's saying, or whatever. But, like, let's get comfortable right there, or something like that. Um, or something like that. I can't remember all the lyrics, but it's been almost about a decade since I've listened to this album. Well, I've listened to it from time to time throughout the years, but I never got a chance to review it on my own YouTube channel. So, yeah, 5 out of 5 for Let the Groove Get In. I really enjoyed this track. The experimentation and the repetitiveness with the chorus coming in and relying on it too much, it does get repetitive, but I get comfortable right there, let the groove get in lyric. It's sort of repetitive, but in a good way. It does pretty good with the catchiness and the experimentation of the track, so 5 out of 5. Mirrors is a pretty popular track. I like the longer version better than the radio version. The radio doesn't even play the whole fucking song, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you play songs that are 4 or 5 minutes. Why don't you extend it and let us hear the whole 8-minute track? So I don't know why. Just ranting a bit. But still, Mirrors was a pretty good track. I like the first section of the track, and the second section, I meant to say, um, is pretty good too. So the you are the love of my life lyric is pretty interesting in the second section, where it slows it down with the melody. So it's a pretty good song. I really like the verses, the chorus, and the bridge part of the track. So yeah, pretty good song. 5 out of 5. Blue Ocean Floor is my favorite song for sure on this album. I really love how the atmosphere of the track and sonically and melody wise and how it's sounding, it just brings you a lot of ease with this track. It just puts your mind at ease and all that when you listen to this track, and it's pretty nice for sure, and something to just lay back to and just think things over in your mind, like, this actually is a pretty enjoyable song, is what you're probably saying. I don't know, but still, 5 out of 5. Dress On was a solid track. This is the deluxe edition tracks for the extra 9 minutes of this album. So, this was a pretty long album. It was like almost an hour and 20 minutes. So, yeah. 4.5 out of 5 for Dress On. And finally, we get to Body Count. And I really like this track. How the grooviness sounds. So, and lyrically, it's solid, but it's pretty strong of a track for the melody wise, and the production and mixing is pretty well done in this track. So 5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution, I think Justin Timberlake, the 2020 experience, was probably a pretty good listen. Really enjoyed this first part to the 2020 experience. And first score for me, I'm giving Justin Timberlake's The 2020 Experience album an 8.5 out of 10. This was a pretty good listen. I definitely recommend checking this album out for the first part of the 2020 Experience albums. There's a 2 of 2 one that I'm going to plan on reviewing in season 5 of Tuesday album reviews, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Probably next year or so, whenever I come around to it, or in 2024. So, with that being said, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Tuesday album review I did for season 4, episode 17 for Justin Timberlake, the 2020 Experience album, if you've listened to it. And if you enjoyed this album review, sorry if I stuttered for a moment and cracked up with what I was saying. I tend to do that sometimes, so please forgive me on that. If you did enjoy this Justin Timberlake, the 2020 Experience Part 1 album review, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can, support the channel. This is premiering on Tuesday at like 4 a.m. So definitely be on the lookout for this Tuesday album review. It's gonna be a premiere video for the next day or so. Because I'm recording it on the 25th at like, I guess 10:30, 10:40ish. It's about 10:52 of me finishing up on this video. So yeah, there will be a movie review coming out before this video, of course. So definitely be on the lookout for the next video. I hope you enjoyed this Tuesday album review for Justin Timberlake, the 2020 Experience album review. This is for part 1 of the album, the first section of his 2020 Experience album. So, yeah, stay safe, take care, guys, and as always, I will see you in my next review.